Kutch memorials. We all gather here today to commemorate the loss of our children who massacred at Kutch Educational Center in Kabul. The brutal attack of suicide at Kutch killed 58 students and injured more than 100. The victims were mostly girls. This massacre was neither a first and nor the last one. Hazaras genocide took place repeatedly throughout the recent. The Hazara genocide took place repeatedly throughout the recent 130 years. The most recent one is the massacre of 9 Hazara by Taliban in Daikundi, Afghanistan. Amongst victory, there are 4 children and women. This happened last Thursday, 24 November 2022. The Hazaras are one of the main ethnic group in Afghanistan, constituting about a third of the population, country to the majority of the population in Afghanistan. We Hazaras are generally Shia and called infidels, at least 2 times publicly, once by Abdul Rahman Khan in 1890s and other time by Taliban in 1990s. In Afghanistan, Hazaras have been the victims of historical oppression, systemic discrimination, violence, and genocidal campaigns. We also have Sunni and Ismaili Hazaras living in different parts of country who are also subject to discrimination due to their ethnicity. Hazaras genocide history has gone back to the 1890s when Amir Abdul Rahman Khan and his tribe massacred more than 60% of Hazaras in educational fusion. Our land was confiscated and given to the people brought in from across the border. Our women and girls were sold severally, and the surviving individuals were disappeared in the region. The successive government and regimes continued the discrimination policies towards us. We were marginalized and kept out of the system. Despite the presence of international military forces in Afghanistan for the past 20 years, Hazaras continue to be the victims of extremist violence by Islamic insurgents and systemic discrimination. The systemic discrimination by the Afghan state. In the past 7 years, Hazaras have been regularly targeted and murdered in the capital city, Kabul, and across Afghanistan. Our places of worship, schools, universities, hospitals, sports clubs, and public gatherings were targeted by suicide bombers. And despite a flow of nearly $1 trillion in Afghanistan, Hazaras religion did not benefit, not even a merry $100 million. Yet, relative to the past, we thrived socially, educationally, economically, and politically. We relied on our own natural resources, worked hard ourselves, and did the following things. First, we built the best private universities in Kabul and other ways. We taught our children, boys, girls alike, to reach the panic of their lives. We built schools, hospitals, clinics, and even dams to make better use of water in rural areas. We are builders and we are not destroyers. In short, we Hazara have the most liberal views towards women. Their works, study, conducting businesses, and practicing varieties of sport. We have artists, musicians, singers, poets, writers, and lecturers. In a partial smell definitive society, for the first time in the history, we had the first governor, the first mayor, and the first district governor, all women. Yearly we had a huge outdoor concert for our people in Bamiyan in front of the great statue of Buddha that the Taliban had destroyed in the late 1990s. All of these are sins in the eyes of the Taliban, as they said, education, progress, and empowerment of women. The Hazaras are overwhelming pro-education and progressive. They cooperated the most with the former government and the international community. That's why Taliban, just after their return in power in 2021, have forcibly exploited the Hazaras, occupied Hazaras' homeland and in Daikundi and many more places. This is ongoing and this is the clear indication of ethnic cleansing. Therefore, we request the respected government of Brazil, the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and all countries that concern for the human rights to stand in solidarity with Hazaras by recognition of the Hazara genocide. Not recognize Taliban's regime. The Taliban have not changed and will not change no matter what they promise. Recognition of the Taliban regime will give the green light and help in more oppression and genocide of innocent people in Afghanistan. Stop Hazara genocide! 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 Stop Hazara genocide!